Have you returned to fight again? Then... You have succeeded. If you wish, you may challenge us again, and we will progress to more advanced movements. Very well. I shall honor your request. Our next battle will be using the higher forms among the Ichani. You may choose hands and feet, or whatever melee weapon you wish, but use no other items or Jedi techniques. Seek one of us out when you wish to fight, and we shall honor your request. Have you returned to fight again? Very well. I shall honor our next battle. You may choose hands and feet. Then let us begin. You have succeeded. If you wish, you may challenge. Seek one of us out when you wish to fight. Have you returned to fight? Very well. I shall honor your request. Our next battle shall be free of restriction on weapons and items, and you may use whatever technique, Jedi or otherwise, you wish to attempt to defeat me. In turn, I will spare none of our forms against you. Seek one of... Have you returned to... Very... Our next inter... Then let... You know much of melee combat. You surprise me. There is nothing more that we can teach you from such contests. Such battle would only be for battle's sake. If that is what you wish, then we shall honor it. We shall see how you fight against a group of us. We shall take you in a pair, using everything at our disposal. Use whatever item, weapon, or Jedi technique you wish. We shall match it. Then let us begin. You are a strong opponent. Atris was correct about you. You know much of war and battle. Perhaps too much. I admit nothing. The Ichani stand together. To defeat one or two of us says nothing of how a true battle would go. Then our last battle shall be the 5 of us against you. Use any item, any weapon, any technique you wish. You'll need them. There is no need for the last of us to join in this fight. The weakest among us will only serve to diminish our techniques. We fight as one when we are 5, not 6, and that number should be enough for this lesson. You are a strong opponent. One does not sweat. Then our Very well. We shall begin.
This will teach you.
We knew you were no match for us, yet you decided you would try anyway. Our battle is done. There is nothing more that we can learn from you.
You are the exile, the one Atris warned us about. I am the last of the Handmaidens. This is correct. I train so that one day that will no longer be true. It dishonors me that they would say such a thing to an outsider, but I cannot deny the truth in what they say. My thoughts are not always focused on training. Perhaps once having known the ways of the Jedi, you may understand what occupies my thoughts. There is much knowledge here, and only one of the Jedi remain. There is so much about their ways of battle, their forms, their stances, that may be lost forever if the last of the Jedi is taken from the galaxy. To the Ichani, battle is a means of communication. It is an art, in the truest sense of the word. Stance, form, discipline are a means of expression and communication. They speak one's heart and one's devotion to their cause. It was to the Jedi traitor Malak. It was to the Jedi traitor Revan. When Terrace was destroyed, it showed Malak's heart through its execution and intent. It was brutal, without finesse, but showed his commitment to defeat the Jedi. Yet with Revan, there was the same commitment, but it was a subtle thing, like weaving threads in a tapestry, or strokes upon a canvas. She spoke through battle and tactics in a way one could never do in words. She showed her heart at Malachor V, and finally, at the end of the Jedi Civil War. I believe she was speaking to Malik in that final battle, though few knew it. Through battle, Revan was meeting betrayal with betrayal, and showing Malik the pain he had inflicted on his master. What stronger display than death for conveying one's sense of being betrayed by one's own student? Revan's anger must have been great indeed.
To claim to know anything of Revan's choices or what lay in her heart when Malak fell is conceit, servant of Atris. And whether Revan had any choice in the matter at all is something else you should consider. The Force is a powerful thing to wield, or deny.
But to say that seems an untruth based on what I know of the Jedi. The Force can drive others, but there is still choice, is there not?
Ah, but at what point does the power the Force exerts submerge any attempt at choice or free will? You have taken a complicated question, servant of Atris, and you have trivialized it with your answer and lack of experience.
If there is no choice in the Force, then our teachings and our actions are for nothing, and I refuse to believe that is true. You may ask. She said, you betrayed the Jedi by going to war when it was forbidden to you. You turned on your masters, your teachings, and yourself. That is not all she says. She says you know nothing of loyalty to any cause except your own animal instincts, and she told us why you fell to the dark side. Atris says that you fell to the dark side in the Mandalorian Wars when you gave in to your lust for battle. Once you tasted war, you could not give it up. Atris says when the Dark Lord Revan returned to the Republic, you did not march with him because you had fallen so far you could no longer feel the Force. I believe that is the extent of her expressed feelings toward you. There are variations at times, but all rise from the same foundation. Yes, it is difficult sometimes for others to truly speak their heart or listen to it. The words often prove difficult, or they do not come at all. Without having seen you and Atris fight, I cannot say. Battle is a pure form of expression. It is heart and discipline, reduced to movement and motion. Then her expressed feelings will have to suffice. You may ask. I know a little of them, yes. Much Jedi knowledge is stored here. Secrets of their teachings, combat styles, and discipline. The Jedi relics are kept by Atris, within the walls of her meditation chamber. Entry is forbidden. Atris has made her orders on the matter clear, and she says you are no Jedi. Entry to her meditation chamber is forbidden. To even ask shows you doubt my loyalty to her. I have seen a few of them. Yes, they were not always in Atris's meditation chamber. There were many relics, among them small cubes, warm to the touch, each containing their own light.
Jedi holocrons, yet warm to the touch, you said.
Yes, and with a light about them. When held, some would speak, ask strange questions. Yes, their questions were confusing. They seemed to think I was someone else, someone's student.
Ah, of course they did. A simple misunderstanding, no doubt.
I had thought perhaps I had damaged them in some way, but I could not think of what I had done. Most come from Dantooine, brought here before the academy there was destroyed by Malak. Not all relics were able to be saved, for there was not time to rescue them all. You may ask. I honor the face of my mother. It is not something spoken of in the company of others. I do not wish to discuss it. If there is something else you wish to ask, you may do so. There is no need to apologize. You were merely remarking on something that you saw. There is no wrong in that. It is not a sensitive subject, but a subject that requires trust. There is no such trust between you and I, and such trust takes time. You may ask. Before you go, Exile, question for you, if I may ask it. You have touched the Force. What does it feel like? Please, I wish to know.
It is like a cloud, a mist that drifts from living creature to creature, set in motion by currents and eddies. It is the eye of the storm, the passions of all living things turned into energy, into a chorus. It is the rising swell at the end of life, the promise of new territories and new blood, the call of new mysteries in the dark.
I see. Thank you both. I appreciate you sharing your knowledge with me.
Mistress, the last of the Handmaidens is not among us.
She has left with the exile.
Left?
But why? Her oath.
I sent her to travel with the exile. She may discover something I cannot.
Mistress, the last of the Handmaidens. She is willful, and she has demonstrated her fascination with Jedi. It may not have been why.
I know what I have done, but it was necessary.
Well, now that we're off that Dajaric board of a planet, I say we burn sky until we see lines.
What is the machine saying? We seem to have found it.
Do you know why we have called you here? As Revan summoned you, so have you come full circle to return to the Jedi.
Why did you defy us? The Jedi are guardians of the peace, and have been for centuries. This call to war undermines all that we have worked for.
Is Revan your master now? Or is it the horror you wrought at Malachor that has caused you to see the truth at last?
You refuse to hear us. You have shut us out, and so have shut yourself to the galaxy.
We feel that your true understanding of what happened at Malachor 5 will only happen in time, and it cannot happen here, near the battlegrounds where you fought.
You are exiled, and you are a Jedi no longer.
There is one last thing. Your lightsaber. Surrender it to us.
Much defiance in that one.
You are correct, Kavar. When he was here, I felt it. It was as if he was not there, more like an echo.
Revan's influence has grown amongst the youngest of the Order. She speaks to their passions, not their sense. The war has touched them. Many of them have found themselves in the war against the Mandalorians.
It is as I feared, and I fear that we have played into the hands of the enemy.
We have not lost a Jedi this day. You felt it. He has lost himself. He is no Jedi. He walked Revan's path, but he was not strong enough.
I fear it is our teachings that may have led Revan to choose the path she did.
We are not the ones who taught her.
We take responsibility, Atris, not cast blame.
The choice of one was the choice of us all. Revan's teacher intended no harm, and Revan had many teachers since.
Yet they all stem from the same source. Her teachings violated the Jedi Code and lead all who listen to the dark side, as they did the exile.
You are wrong. The dark side is not what I sensed in the exile. Surely the rest of you felt it as well. That emptiness we felt. He has changed.
Whatever that wound was, it was of the dark side. We should not have let him depart. He will simply join Revan again, or perhaps worse.
What would you have done with him, Atris? Be mindful of your feelings. This is not Revan who stood before you. This one walks a different path.
No, although that may come in time. We let him go because we must. Where he travels, he carries his destination with him.
Malachor 5 should have been his grave. You saw it in his walk, and in the Force. It was as if he was already dead.
No, not death. Many battles remain for that one, if what we have seen is true. But the future is a shifting thing, and he cuts like a blade through it.
We should have told him the truth. A Jedi deserves to know.
No good would have come from it, even if what you believe was true. There is still the matter of Revan, and such truths could leave us vulnerable on two fronts.
Perhaps in many years, we will call him before us and explain what happened to him, and how he may be healed. Until then, he must accept his journey.
But he may never discover the truth, and he will never know why we cast him out.
And that is the future we must accept.
Those Jedi sure like their secrets, don't they?
A strange coincidence.
It is no coincidence. There is some larger plan at work here, and we are walking into it. This is too convenient to be anything but a trap.
Those are Atris's records you have stolen.
What the hell are you doing on our ship?
I have come to join you. I can help you against this threat.
Well, we don't want your help. Or any of your sisters.
If it comforts you to believe that, then so be it. But the enemies you face are many, and you will need all the help you can get. It is just me, and I am doing this because Atris believes you will need help. I think the strength of the enemy is unknown, but it is greater than 5 can hope to defeat without aid.
Indeed. But of course, what does one more matter to our journey? I have had enough of this. I will be in my chambers.
Yeah, me too. I'll be in my chambers. But since I don't have any, I guess I'll just go to the cockpit like I always do. If she's coming with us, she gets the cargo hold. Might remind her how fun it is to get locked up.
General,
The cargo hold is enough. I assure you, there is little I need. I will attend to myself. It is no matter. I am used to worse conditions, but thank you for your kindness.
General, is there a reason you don't carry a lightsaber anymore? That's not your lightsaber anymore. That belonged to someone who served Revan in the wars, not the person you are now. You could build another one, if you wanted to, but you know that. I never said you were, but whatever the reason, you should put it behind you. I know this. A lightsaber is part of who you are. Without it, you're not complete. I think I can help you out there. I happen to know the parts you need. I spent a lot of time around Jedi during the war. None of them would let me take their lightsaber apart, but I did learn about their construction. We need a power cell, emitter matrix, lens and focusing crystal, though I have to admit the crystal is beyond my means. Never did understand them. Those parts are fairly common, though a Jedi once told me that it's best if your lightsaber reflects you, and if it is constructed of things that identify it as your own. Just bring the parts to me before you get started building it. I'll make sure they're usable.
For the last time, no. Because you're programmed to force your opponent to go first, and nothing will convince me the computer doesn't cheat. Even if I didn't have to go first and somehow I didn't suspect you of counting cards, I still wouldn't play with a trash compactor. Yeah? How many credits?
All I'm saying is that you've gone for a long time without a memory wipe. Most droids behave erratically under those circumstances. I know that, but I'm fixing everything else around here, so I may as well take a look at you too. What was that? That's what I'm talking about. That is not normal droid behavior. I am not pushing you around. I just wanted to see if there was anything I could do to upgrade your functionality. Good. Now let's get started. You wouldn't guess it from the outside, but it looks like you've been through a lot. I'll bet. I'm all done with you. If anything comes loose, let me know and I'll put it back in place.